Hello everyone, this is day 8 of 15 days of DAX. Today we are going to explore table manipulation functions. These functions allow us to create, modify, and extract data from tables, making them essential for dynamic data modeling in Power BI. First, we are going to see how to use these functions, when we can use these functions. After that, we are going to implement these functions in Power BI Desktop so that we are clear how to use these functions. The first function we are going to see is summarize. Summarize creates a summary table with grouped data. So this is the syntax for summarize. Summarize will take the table and then we need to specify the group by column. On which column, based on which column we need to group the data. So first we need to specify the name of the aggregation column and we need to specify the expression, basically an aggregation which we need to do based on the grouped data. The use case of this function is to create a summary table showing total sales by category. So this is used to create a new table. Summarize. Inside that we need to specify the table name, that is sales, and we need to group it by category column. So sales category, and we need the total sales. So we specify the column name as total sales and we are doing the sum of sales amount. This will create the total sales grouped by category. The summarize function groups data by specified columns. We can specify more than one column as you can see here, and it is commonly used for creating aggregated tables. The next function is add columns. So this is used to create a new table with additional columns which can be specified by DAX expressions. For example, here we are adding a profit column to an existing sales table. Remember that this will create a new table. So it will not modify existing table, but it will create new table based on the data from a table that is already present, which we are going to specify inside add columns function. So sales with profit is equal to add columns. We need to specify the sales table and column name, that is profit, and the expression sales amount minus sales cost. The add columns function creates new columns dynamically and it does not modify the original table but returns a new one, and it is useful for adding calculated values based on existing data. So it is useful when you want to have your new columns in a separate table instead of creating calculated columns in the same table. Next, we are going to see select columns. It returns a table with specified columns. This is similar to using select statement in SQL where we are going to select the required columns from an entire data set. The use case is to create a table with only product names and revenue in this example. So select columns will take the table and we need to specify which columns we need from the given table. So product is the new column name which we are going to give for sales product column, and revenue is the new column for sales amount. The sales, the select columns function extracts specific columns from a table and it allows renaming columns. So you can rename your column while entering the name of the column which you need from the sales table. Creates a new table without modifying the original data. So the select columns also will create a new table. Next, we are going to see generate function. It performs a cross join between two tables. The use case is creating all possible combinations of products and sales data. So generate function will take two tables as inputs and will give a cross joined table. The generate function combines each row of the first table with rows from the second table like a nested iteration, and it is useful for simulating all possible row level combinations. and it is often used in advanced data modeling and scenario analysis. The last function we are going to see is generate series. It creates a table with a numeric series. So we can specify the starting value and ending value, and we can also specify the increment value based on how much we need to increment for each step. So the generate series function creates a single column table of values in a defined range with a specified step. It is useful for generating time series, numeric bins, or intervals, and it is commonly used in scenarios like custom ranking, bucketing, or dynamic axis generation. Let's see the challenge for day 8. You have a sales orders table with the following columns: order ID, customer name, sales, profit, and category. You need to write a DAX table formula that creates a summary table showing total sales and total profit for each category. Modify the table to include only categories where total sales exceed $10,000. So summary table is easy to create. We can use summarize on the sales orders table, and based on which column we need to group it, we need to group it by category column. So we write category column here, and after that we need the total sales for each category. So total sales is sum of sales column and total profit. So total profit is sum of profit column. So this is summary table. Once we create summary table, we can filter this table by using filter function. So filtered category summary is equal to filter. This summarize function will create the table which we have already seen here, and it will filter out the total sales values which are less than 10,000. So it will only take the total sales if it is greater than 10,000. So total sales here is a measure that we have created. So it is simply the sum of sales column from sales orders table. The summarize function creates a new table grouping by category, and the filter function removes categories with total sales below $10,000. So this is the challenge for day 8. We have solved the challenge. We have understood different DAX formulas. Now we are going to see the implementation in Power BI desktop. Okay, I am in my Power BI desktop, and this is sales orders table. So what we are going to do first is we are going to create a summary table. So we are going to use summarize function and create the category summary. We need to categorize. First, let's see what are the columns that we have. We have order ID, region, product, category, customer name, quantity, sales, profit, and order date. So here we can group the data. Suppose I want to identify the total sales and total profit for each category. So we can group the category column and calculate the total sales and total profit using summarize function. So category summary is a table which we can create by clicking here. So you have new table option here. So you can write a DAX expression to create a new table. What the functions that we are seeing today are created by clicking here, by creating a new table and writing this DAX expression. So we will write summarize, and we need to specify the table name. So table name is sales orders, and we need to specify the column which we need to group by. We need to group by category column. So we specify the category, and we need total sales and total profit. So these are the column names: total sales, and this is the expression for this column: sum of sales, sum of sales. Next we have total profit. So total profit is sum of profit column. So we can see the total sales and total profit for each category. Next, we are going to see add columns function. Suppose you want to create a new column called profit margin, but you do not need that column in our main table, which you can directly get by creating a new column by clicking here. Your requirement is to have a separate table with profit margin column. In that case, you can use add columns function. So sales with profit margin is equal to add columns. We need to specify the table name and the new column which we want to add, that is profit margin, and the expression for that new column. So here we are dividing the profit column with sales column in order to get the profit margin. So that is how the add columns is useful. These functions like add columns, select columns, so these functions can be used inside other functions which will take table as a which takes table as inputs. For example, we have filter function, it will take table. So inside filter function we can use add columns or summarize function. Like that we can create measures which are dynamic. In this case, we are taking some simple examples in order to understand how to implement these functions. Next, we are going to see select columns function. So select columns is really simple. It is used to select the columns from our table, which we want to uh, from our main table. So in this case, it is sales orders, and from the table, we only need three columns. We'll take order ID column, customer and sales, and it will create a new column with the specified columns. So this is select columns. Next, we are going to see generate function. So generate function will take two tables as inputs. So here we are taking the customer names, and for each customer we are getting the products which has sales orders, which has sales greater than 300. So in this case, we are using values function. So values function will create a table with this single column called customer name. So this is the first table that we are going to give for generate function. The next table we are going to give is the products which has sales greater than 300. So in order to do that, we will use filter function. So filter function will filter out the products. So from this table, we just need a single column called product. So in order to get that column from this table, we are using select columns here. So when you use select columns, it will take only product column from this table which we created using filter function. So this will give the products which has sales greater than 300. The last function we are going to see is generate series. So generate series will create a single column with the values that we specify. So here the starting value is 0 and ending value is 50, and the step is 5. So it will start from 0. 0 plus 5 is 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. So it will continue like this until it reaches 50. Okay, everyone. In this video, we have seen how to use the table manipulation functions. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.